How you doing, guys? What's good?
Hey,
Jim, how are you? It's good to see you. How art thou? You are literally the first person to chat as well. I'm just playing some Destiny. Just doing some chill things right now. If you're free, you can come join. I'd be more than happy to play with others. I'm doing Onslaught right now. I keep trying to get a freaking weapon that won't drop. Like, it'll drop, but it won't give me the one I want. I've been trying to get it for, like, forever. In fact, if I had had it, I would have used it last night. That would have been nice. The game keeps hiding it from me. I did a dungeon with Nikki and some other friends. Yeah, we did the dungeon together. I would have liked to have used the gun for the dungeon, but I just don't have it. Would have been nice. It's not necessary at all. It's just more of like, hey, I really like that gun, and using it would have been cool. That's called Luna's Howl. There's a roll of it where you can get heal clip, incandescent for ad clear, heal clip for healing every time I reload after killing an enemy. So it's really nice. It's a hand cannon. So like a revolver. Yeah, I'm looking for a very certain role. Yeah. Onslaught's pretty simple. I mean, it's just an ad clear mode, like a round-based ad clear mode. It's pretty straightforward. It was really hype before the final shape came out. It was like it was brand new at the time, and no one had ever done it, and like there were like these god versions of weapons you could get. That's still fine, you know. It's just round-based, you know, killing mode. It's fine. It's not my favorite, but you gotta do it to get the gun. So I'm here, grinding it out. Grinding it out. It does have like some of the best weapons in the entire game, though. Like, I highly recommend doing it just for the weapons. You can also attune which weapon drops, meaning like you get a much higher percentage chance of getting the weapon you want. The best sword in the game is in here. What else? The best SMG in the game is in here. What else? Arguably the best SMG. One of the best pulse rifles. One of the best scout rifles. What else? The best grenade launcher in the game is in here, by the way. Are the weapons cute? Depends on what you think is cute. They're just normal. They're legendary. The best sniper rifle and one of the best grenade launchers in the game you can get from here too. Basically every single weapon that drops from Onslaught is incredible. It was, at the time, like, in my opinion, kind of like, hey, catch up and get the best guns in the game mechanic before the final shape. Which still to this day, it has some of the best guns in the game. Yeah, and it's chill. We can just chat and talk and hang out and mess around with builds together. Also, we could do a dungeon. I wouldn't be against doing a dungeon together. We could get a third, too, Jim, if you want to do one. I'm not playing with Katie now. It's just me by myself. I'm all by my lonesome. Later, we were going to do some Final Fantasy. In fact, I thought we would be doing Final Fantasy by now, but I haven't heard from her, so just chilling. Yeah, I'll be playing with Katie later. Yeah. For show. I don't know. Just whenever she gets back with me. I assume she's asleep because every time I call her, it goes straight to voicemail, which means she's in Do Not Disturb, so she's still got to be sleeping. She'll probably want to eat breakfast and then for lunch or whatever and then hang out for a bit. So I think it'll still be a while. E-beans. Let's see what I get. Okay, Luna's Howl. Did I get the gun? Subsistence, magnetic, subsistence and magnificent howl. No. Sad. Rip. You're telling me, Jim. You're telling me. Nope. Not craftable at all. That's also, I think that also contributes to why they're like, you know, some of the better ones in the game. Also, the rounds get harder in Onslaught, and you get more loot the longer it goes. So, by the end, I'll be getting more loot. Also, if you do it on Expert, you actually get even more loot. But I don't really have a team to do it on Expert with, so... It also means I can use my auto turret gun. It creates this little thing that shoots enemies for me. Turret gun! Yay! Sounds good! Easter tomorrow. That's true. What are you doing for Easter tomorrow? I don't have any plans. So, Easter's fun. Yeah, I don't have any plans with anyone. I'll just be hanging here, taking it easy. Foods and drinks and such. Yep. Nothing like celebrating the death of Jesus. I help cooking things. Oh, look at you. Oh, I know, Jen. I'm just messing with you.
This is a gauge of pure combat potential. Make me proud.
Whee! Thank you.
nothing ghost, buddy. Can't crack that code. But
Gonna use the restroom. BRB. I'm just gonna go grab a sandwich, guys. I'll be right back. BRB. I'm back, guys. Yeah, boy's back. I needed to go get some food. I haven't eaten today. Okay, so what am I eating today? I've got a kombucha, ginger kombucha. It's called Gingerade. And then we've got a Sammy. A sandwich. The Subway at Walmart has a deal where you can get a sub for $6.99. Yeah, you know I'd be on that. You know I'd be on that, because that's a good deal. Man, that is tasty. I am glad that I started adding mayo to these subs. It's very good. Glaive rocket launcher. Testing. Yeah, that still sounds good. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Show me everything, Guardian. No limits here. opponents and survive. Victory is a matter of will. Triumphant tactics! Regrets on that one. Well fought. Execute all targets, and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles.
how's it going?
Hey, sorry, we had a friend come over this morning to hang out for a little bit, so
That's okay.
we were hanging out, and I forgot I left my phone on sleep mode. Usually it turns off, but I guess it.
No,
it didn't.
you're fine. I didn't like call twice a bunch because I assumed you were sleeping. I wasn't sure, so I didn't
Yeah,
want to.
we got up around 10, I think, and I just forgot to turn my phone off sleep mode. I didn't even have my phone on me. I just left it in the bedroom.
Oh, you're fine. No worries. Who is the friend? Do I know him?
I don't know if you met Ed. He's a friend of RJ's.
Nice. Well, that's good.
Yeah, he was in town, so he came over to hang out for a little bit. We're still hanging out.
Good. Cool.
I don't know if I'll be able to play today.
That's okay.
Just because of that. We'll see. If not, we can try tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries. You just let me know.
Alright, I love you. I'll talk to you
Okay,
later.
love ya. Y'all have fun.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye. Yo, Navata, how are ya? Good to see you, buddy. Oh, I'm good. Glad to be here. Hanging. Playing some Destiny. Text, Zach Hall. Hey, buddy, you up at the flea market today? Question mark. Whoops, I blew myself up. Oh, that murdered me. That's right, Water. Hanging, vibing. What are you up to? How are you? It's good to see ya. I got some tunes rolling. I gotta get rid of something. Fuck. Not gonna do it in time. That's okay. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. You trying to chill? I keep trying to get that Luna's Howl with Incandescent. Let's turn my music down. With Incandescent heal clip. I just like that gun. I really want that. Subsistence Incand's not terrible. But like I really want the heal clip, you know? That's kind of what I'm vibing with. It's just a fun gun. It's not like it's gonna be like my go-to or anything. Who knows? Maybe it will be. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Having a hand cannon with primary ammo and heal clip seems really nice to me. I really like that. I also just like collecting the guns. You know how I am. It's kind of like one of my favorite things to do. You want to come chill, Water? Oh, wow, I got murdered. Yeah, I don't blame you. I just did the same thing. I had a Subway for lunch. Subway and some kombucha. You should see the builds these guys are running in my onslaught lobby. Rose using a rocket launcher I haven't seen in years. Some gamers. Gamers. That's funny. My buddy Hitch was using a Chaos Reach Warlock build last night. It was pretty fire. It was cooking on final boss of Vespers. I kind of want to make one, just for shits and giggles. Yeah, Chaos, dude, it fucking cooks, man. Cooks. is right there. I don't have barrier on.
Best your opponent and survive. Victory is the matter of
Water, do you have a group of people to do Rights in the Nine with? Actually, I'm looking for a crew to do that with. I assume that you're going to do it with your clan, though. Makes sense. Whoa. Freezing. Yeah, I don't think it'll be nuts or anything. Unless they, like, really up the difficulty after what's it called came out, you know, once it leaked. I wouldn't put it past Bungie to do some weird shit like that. I'm actually unsure, Water. I'd have to look it up. Cannot remember. That's great. You gotta love it, dude. That's crazy, bro. Not me shooting my my fucking Titan shield. Whoa, bro came right at me. I don't even think he was programmed to be able to come over here. That's funny.
Once more onto the
Jeez. Let's go to the tower.
Hey, pick up. You're running with me on this hack job. You know how Hive computer...
explained it the best that I can. Yours is a lonely existence. There is a door.
How's the good fight, Guardian? Yes. Welcome back. The black armorer takes you. Adopting this new technology feels overwhelming. I barely understand it, but it's nice to have a clear challenge in front of me.
first fire team in there, don't hesitate to engage.
Fly, Guardian! The Witch Queen and I will prevent its escape.
And your allies will fight at your side.
This is what we were made for. I'm with you. Until the end.
Destroy the Witness's remaining forces. The Guardian will not have all the glory.
This is a change of pace, isn't it? Never let it be said I wasn't here when it counted.
Guardian, keep your focus on the Witness. Empress, Mithras, Sabathun. Witness forces are closing in. Help me stop them.
Vanguard Command, we're closing in on the Witness now. This is it.
There is no other way.
Saint 14 is en route to your location. Watch for the war to dawn.
Just like the last time, Guardian. Destroy the statue.
Free us!
We are one.
It will end soon.
We won't suffer one more day with you.
I forgot he does the regular witness attack. I'm silly.
was made can be unmade.
I just got booted out. Also, what is this? That's pretty cool. Bro, I just got kicked out of Excision. That's crazy, dude. At the fucking end, too? That's crazy, man. Bye, Hitch! Hope works well, buddy. Honestly, since I got booted out last time, I'm
Dead
just
again.
gonna...
Triple kill for Legend. The French freak phenom starting to find his feet now.
We're going to call him the French freak. I mean, you could.
That could work too.
Does work. Some of the things that he has been able to do, I questioned whether he was even human. (32 to 14), so a couple of kills going back in favor of SWAT Latam, but again, a deficit like this, it would be quite the struggle if Optic Gaming were to throw this one away. Actually, it would be the biggest throw of all time. But the green wall in the venue starting to get loud. And it's good that Optic are at least giving them something to shout about, because it was certainly a tough morning for them.
It was an early morning wake-up call. Go play some Halo.
We need to get eyes on the witness.
Unfortunately,
First fire team in there, don't
get the
hesitate
win.
to engage.
all still to do. Like I say, if they can take down
Let your
that
allies will
loss
fight
never
at your
seems
side.
irrelevant. You're back in the... You've actually stolen first seed in the tournament, so you tap your days.
That's also assuming that Rebellion also win, although their games in the open bracket, etc. I mean, I think it's looking that way at the moment, but I'm not 100% sure on what the results are that have come through. And that's assuming that Optic continue to win this series, but how things are going, it's looking like it's trending that way. 37 to 22. Again, SWAT Latam are just pinned back into the base, and Renegade is just waiting to pounce.
I feel like I'm watching the same play happen over and over again. They get camouflage and they all collapse on a base. They turn around and they do it again. And Latam just do not have an answer for it. Noble's back base. Renegade's gonna hop back up there to help Formal, and in the end, he doesn't even need it.
And that's what's important, is when that last player is remaining, you hunt him down, you kill him just that little bit later, and you split those spawns. You split those spawns, and you just keep them staggered, and you keep punishing them every single time you have that player advantage.
You just keep splitting them prawns. Renegade over towards Seven. I think that's a very important point you make as well, because of course, if you delay that last final kill, you're always guaranteed a numbers advantage. It's 4v3, the 3 fresh players to pop up, so always hard work to put these boys away. 3 kills remaining, make it 2 now. And Optic Gaming are in complete cruise control with 1 more kill to go. A killing spree for Renegade. And it could be Roars the next one to hit the grave. Yes, it is. 5 fresh shots. 2 to the good now for Optic Gaming. 1 away from righting some wrongs.
The crowd was calling for a steak, and it was delivered on a plate. Doesn't matter if you like it blue, medium rare, or well done. It was perfectly executed by the Optic Gaming roster. They had that one on the grill for quite some time, are ready to serve. And now, on the side of SWAT Latam, that's going to be a difficult pill to swallow. It was a domination in the game 2 on Aquarius Slayer there. And Optic Gaming looking too strong, it would seem, for the open bracket side.
Just to be clear when we're talking about steaks,
yes.
Blue means barely cooked, correct?
Yeah, just sear it on all the edges, make sure, and then you just deliver it pretty much raw in the middle.
So essentially, just eating it fresh, cut off the animal, because it's getting very little love.
Yeah, you just make sure you get rid of all the E. coli on the edges and everything like that. Safe to eat. Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's good health.
Yeah.
Good health and safety from you.
Yeah.
You've definitely done a course or 2.
I did.
I know. Series layout then 250 to 67. Strongholds Live Fire Slayer did not go the way of SWAT Latam either. 50-26. It's been utter domination for the green wall. An oddball recharge on the horizon. It's not looking much better. It's one of their best map mode combinations. Looking at the stats, Renegade 18, 3, and 6. He's really starting to find his form.
And I've probably said this, but I think that's what's exciting about this Optic team, is that every single player can have a game like that. I mean, Formal, not too many kills, but you don't need to when Renegade has a game like that. But Legend also did it the game before. Bound could be the one who does it next time. And these kind of teams can be championship winning rosters because often these games can come down to fine margins where one player just has to step up, have that moment where they get that double or get that triple. A killing frenzy, for example, for Renegade. By the way, he gave up a killing frenzy just trying to get the camouflage, which shows that he was still thinking about the bigger picture. Because if that was me, I'd be like, I ain't going top mid. I will carry on just trying to pick up some kills.
Just gonna keep hitting the closets.
Just keep going.
Hope some players are no shields. Gonna get myself a little perfection.
Looking for my running riot.
I think it's right you say that because it's important to know. Sometimes you see one player being an outlier on the stat sheet. He's got 18 kills in one of the games. There's just not enough kills on the map for every player to pop off. Sometimes it's just not your turn.
Well, I mean, something that's been mentioned a few times already in this tournament is, for example, TSM with the life after last shot, right? Not having that extra kind of firepower, that one person who could just suddenly pop off. Optic have 4 of those players, and I'm not saying TSM don't. I just don't think TSM have quite found their footing yet in this tournament, but they did qualify for the championship bracket, so they will have an opportunity to right some of those wrongs. Now, Oddball Recharge is going to be the next, and yeah, bad news for SWAT LATAM. This is pretty much Optic Gaming's bread and butter. Slow setup, but also can push the pace when you need to. You can watch those spawns, you can punish people who are going to be on their own. I would not be surprised if this is a 2-0 and ends the series at a 3-0, and we still have to give credit to SWAT LATAM for getting to this point. Getting through that grueling open bracket is never easy, and especially taking down a lot of those North American teams that you were talking about, Shurs. But when you get into this pool and you have to play an Optic Gaming, who, as I said, are just a little bit annoyed with what's happened so far.
I think something Optic Gaming do on this map, they don't have a preferred method, a preferred setup in this. They can hold it pipes, they can hold it elevator, they can hold it blue. They don't care where they hold it because they have optimal setups for each one of them. And for SWAT LATAM, I just don't think they're going to have enough in the books to be able to break these setups.
Yeah, and even if you do break the setup, it's how do you set up yourself, because Optic does have that deep playbook. Optic can break those setups time and time again, and they are going to punish you every single time you try and take that ball away from them. And then you've also got to think about the shock rifle and how that is going to impact things out here as well. Optic Gaming are going to terrorize SWAT LATAM here in this match.
Power weapons always so important. You've got 4 gunnies on Optic Gaming, and any one of them can pick it up at any given time and put on a show. The camouflage there to be contended for right off the rip. Noble's got the opening pick. Legend's gonna fall. Renegade's gonna whip for the first melee.
What's your FOV?
Eventually gets it done. Probably sitting on 110, I would say.
I mean, I don't think so. If you don't see Renegade right there, I'm thinking it's like a 970. 42. Does not spot Renegade. He's able to get the kill in the end, and it's going to be that first camouflage going in favor of Optic Gaming. Even worse news for SWAT LATAM here, but we'll give his position away, but will grab a shock rifle. Oh.
What's his FOV? Didn't check his feet. Sometimes you have to watch where you're walking. Formal will find a face. That camouflage. This is just things you can't plan for. You can have all the strategies in the world and all the setups, but if Formal gets a shock rifle on the camouflage, all those plans could go by the wayside.
No ball time as of yet, though. The ball is actually going to reset. Just a little bit of a standoff as almost connects with it. Just does enough damage so that it can be picked up, but it will be all 4 dead for Optic Gaming. And actually, SWAT LATAM will be the first team to get a setup here, and it looks like it's going to have to be pipes. Although they do have A control, so they can probably rotate this round to elevator if they would like. They're going to force a blue push from Optic.
Can I tell you that one of the most terrifying things to play in Halo is when you're faced with a sniper rifle or a shock rifle and they stand still. As you hold your breath, you're like, he's about to blame me. And more often than not, shock rifle, you find out pretty quickly. Unfortunately, though, Formal didn't find the face and he got taken down. But 23 seconds on the board for LATAM. The ball's going to get tossed out over towards battery, so it's going to be reset. Bound's going to drop down, scoop it up. 3 dead. Striking last man standing down over towards Long Haul. He has to wait for his teammates to spawn back up.
Well, 2 dead on the side of SWAT LATAM. Optic Gaming have the ball. A good chance to jump into the communications of Optic Gaming and seeing how they're feeling.
One shot mango door also. One shot mango. It's 1x,
Oh my god, dude. I got kicked out of Excision again. 2 times. What the hell, dude?
A very focused Optic Gaming, actually. I think historically, a game like this and a team like this, the comms may not be like that. It might have been a little bit more chill, a little bit more expectation of winning this comfortably, but Optic extremely focused, and they know they cannot take this SWAT LATAM team lightly. They're a very strong roster who have to be respected, and it's exactly what Optic is showing here.
Those comms are locked. You're hearing a lot of small talk. Not looking past this SWAT LATAM team, and for good reason. This round number 1 has been close. Optic Gaming now just starting to pull away. 10 seconds required. 3 members down for SWAT LATAM. This should be a round 1 victory for Optic Gaming. The Legend continues to hold and secures the round for his team.
A bit back and forth to begin with, but once they got a solid setup, Optic Gaming were just able to hold on to it, but it was great to have an extended listen in there so we could really see how Optic were kind of feeling. I think focus would be the key word that I take away from that listening. Legend now just supporting Bound, and I mean, Legend and Bound running at you is another terrifying thing to have to try and go up against in Halo, as now Pillow is going to be the last remaining player, as again, first camouflage goes to Optic Gaming. And that is going to be a key feature in this game as well. If SWAT LATAM allow that camouflage to keep going in favor of the green wall, then they are not going to be able to get around.
Optic Gaming have really been on top of the power-ups. Almost every camouflage has gone their way this game. That time just desperately trying to survive, but Formula just keeps hitting 5s. 3 dead now. Noble's over towards gold. Grapple would mean the ball can come with him. Camouflage will just run out. But now they have an A set up. Renegade's got the shock rifle as well over towards blue. This is going to be a very difficult break for SWAT LATAM. Renegade has to live here. He's done so for now.
Of course, you talk about those 5s, the summer update will get the perfect medal that's going to be on the kill feed as well, and I do wonder whether that changes things, changes the dynamic of the game when you see someone perfect in the kill feed, and you know they're hot, is very different to just seeing them get those kills as well. So it does change things ever so slightly, and I'm excited for that introduction when the summer update does come through. But Optic have the ball over towards Pipes, and they've got 2 dead. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 in this, and actually there's a spawn over towards Elevator, so they could get aggressive here and try and take Elevator off them, but I think with that damage they're going to have to back off.
Back away they do. 3 members of Optic Gaming over towards Pipes. Beautiful nades getting tossed out here though. Players down to no shields, and Bound picks up 2. 3 go down now. Renegade gets one elsewhere. Last player over towards Tower. A beautiful hold to the green wall.
If we go down together. Bound and Formal just holding hands and saying, look, we'll fight to the very end, and they both come out of it alive. So difficult to try and take those fights when both players are just trained on doing damage, happy to die for the cause of their teammate. Now, Noble does have camouflage, so this is better. At least they've been able to prioritize it, and maybe it can help them get back into this round. Oh, you walk into a wiggly Formal, you never really know how it's going to happen. Noble's the last remaining player here. Ball time still going in favor of Optic.
We've hit the halfway point now. A point required for Noble. Waiting patiently for plays to be made elsewhere. Unfortunately, that camouflage didn't see the value he would have liked. This ball being well protected by the Frenchman. Like a little baby being cradled. He's bringing it over towards Long Hall. Got help from Bound, but 2 members of SWAT Latam combined. Legend will drop the ball, shock rifle in hand, hits the face, even when he didn't need to. A little extra sauce on it. Ball has been dropped over towards double stack, and Halo get a kill on the Formal. You see Legend desperately trying to get some information and put some damage down on the map. Great nade from Strikey, but just not enough to get the kill. Double kill for Legend, he continues to roll. And 82 points in climbing here for Optic Gaming. This has been smooth sailing.
And he's just walking into one shot after one shot. Such good communication from Optic right now, and the damage they're doing just allows Legend to clean up.
The final moments then, perhaps the final innings of SWAT Latam's tournament, as Renegade gets the final second required, and the green wall march on. We say goodbye to SWAT Latam, and Optic Gaming are going to go 2-1 in the pools.
So Optic Gaming will at least walk away with a better seed than 3rd, so they're not going to have to worry about being 3rd in their pool. They will finish 2nd just after Nemesis, so it'll be a flip of the seeds. Nemesis are now going to be the 2nd seed going into the championship bracket, whereas we're going to see Optic Gaming being a 7th seed, which, of course, leads us to a possibility of Shopify Rebellion versus Optic Gaming in winners bracket round 1. The 2 teams who are in the finals of the Invitational, the 2 teams who are spoken about being in the finals of this tournament, are going to have to go up against each other in the first opportunity of championship bracket.
Don't get me wrong, we were expecting an Optic Gaming versus Shopify Rebellion at some point this weekend. We were not expecting to come quite this soon, if that is how it all shakes out. But it was a clean sweep for the green wall. Those four players, they found their feet, and the green wall has found their voice. Applaud the hometown heroes.
I think that's how that game had to go. That series had to go that way for Optic Gaming. Otherwise, there would have been a lot of raised eyebrows around this arena, and maybe even on opposition teams. They had to just show everyone that maybe it was just a blip against Nemesis, and they're going to be back in form, because otherwise, if it's going to happen, Shopify Rebellion would have been rubbing their hands together saying, actually, yeah, sure, if Optic are struggling against a team that's just come out of open bracket, they'll be right before the picking. But no, Optic show their dominance. Optic show themselves at their very best, or at least close to their very best. I still think there is more to come from them just yet. But it is a 3-0 against SWAT Latam, and sadly will be the end of SWAT's tournament, but a great open bracket run to give them a chance to play on the main stage.
You very loosely made a point there that I almost didn't even think about, was with Nemesis taking down Optic in that pool play match, do you think the other top teams, the likes of Rebellion, SSG, FaZe, do they look at Optic now thinking maybe they're not as strong as maybe we thought they were?
I think so, but I think that there's always been that question mark of this roster. I mean, it's happened many a time on this stage in particular as well, against a European team. I think maybe there's just a little bit of a worry. I think there's always going to be those early first tournament nerves for Optic Gaming, and I think it might just be a hurdle on the way to things, because Optic Gaming are definitely going to be a team who could move forward and could still win this entire tournament.
A lot of work still to do for Optic Gaming, but they've beaten the team that was in front of them. There's still a lot of work to do. Maybe, like we say, that big matchup against Shopify Rebellion, This Halo just gives us something all the time, that unexpected results. You're seeing teams make it out of open that maybe you weren't expecting as well. Blaze, though, he's got some words to speak with Renegade, and I can't wait to hear them. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Shurs and Dan. Texas, make some noise for the home team as Optic Gaming gets it done on the main stage, and I got Renegade with me. Renegade, the cheers have been crazy today. Just tell me right off the bat, what is it like playing in front of a crowd this loud?
Yeah, I love the green wall. You know, I definitely hear it, and especially how much family members I have here. I hear all you guys. Thank you.
There you go, okay? He loves the support. And on a day in which you guys needed a lot of support to really kick this one off, okay? You know, the schedule a little bit different. You guys start off early today playing a match on that continuation from yesterday. Just kind of
guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to go take care of some stuff.
Well, yeah, we had to wake up pretty early. We played that first match down 0-2 at like 9 a.m. We didn't get the win, but, you know, we're still in winners, and we're still looking for the trophy.
There you go, okay? And, you know, you played phenomenal on the stage, Killing Frenzy, looking good. How you feel about just your own performance to kick this day off?
I've been playing all right. I think I could play a little bit better, and this next series I will.
All right, you heard him. This next series he will. Green Wall, stay in the crowd. We'll get this champ bracket kicked off here soon. That's going to do it for me on the stage. Lot, take us away.
Thank you so much, Blaze and GG's Optic Gaming. You keep yourselves in it, and I gotta say, lights out. I mean, fantastic showing from them, and I think a great rebound, something that we all needed to see. I think a lot of people right now in this arena are relieved based on what we just saw. I also think it was a little bit of a kick up the butt about how you have to be performing with your A game every single time you take that stage, and I do feel like they gave LATAM that respect. I do think that they played their A game. They had to pop off. They had to show their individual skill to get the job done. And honestly, they made it look pretty easy in terms of teamwork. That's exactly what I wanted to see from Optic. How did you feel about that series?
Yeah, I loved what I saw from Optic. I think especially knowing that you've already dug yourself a hole, that you're going to play a 1 seed coming out of pools here, and it's probably going to be Shopify due to the rumblings. Optic are very aware of all of this storyline that's ahead of them and their road to success, and that trophy is Renegade referenced in that interview. I think this is what you had to do if you were Optic. To go into the Shopify series when bracket play starts confident, you needed to stomp the LATAM team, and that's exactly what just happened. It was a beatdown, and now I think Optic are going to go a lot more confident into bracket play.
Indeed they are. How did you feel about the teamwork, Goofy? Because obviously I think that was something that might have been lacking a little bit of touch against Nemesis, and I think Nemesis out-teamworked Optic. You never want that to happen. So how did you feel that they rebuilt that coming into this series?
Yeah, I think they played fantastic. Like Wes said, Optic did exactly what they needed to do. No messing around. Don't let a game extend past where it needs to. Come in and really, for yourself, for your team, make it be known that, hey, the loss against Nemesis was a blip. We're here to win this tournament, and they did exactly that, you know, as far as coming out and winning this series against SWAT.
When it comes down to what you are looking for right now of Optic, we've had an early slip up. I know you're looking at certain specifics. We looked at pacing yesterday and how they are able to slow things down and speed things up when they want to, rather than just have that one set aggressive pace. Was there any individuals you're looking at spotlighting that you really want to see kind of start to look a little bit more comfortable on this roster as they build up through the weekend?
I'm looking at Legend and his comfortability on this roster. I think they're at the K-Son event. That was kind of their prelim or pre-event show match that Optic performed at. I think it was Legend that I expect the world of, and MVP of last year, obviously. I think when he's playing his best, is considered the best player in the game. I need to see that Legend going into bracket play, especially knowing the team that they play starting off, in order to have the tournament that this roster wants to have.
Indeed. I also think for me, it's got to be Bound. I think I just haven't seen that, I don't know, that kind of, excuse the term, cocky confidence, right, from Bound that you're used to seeing, something that you love, I think, about him as a player, right?
Absolutely.
Running at you, just full blazing ego challenge. It is, it's arrogance, but it's like this.
But it's backed up with
100%.
hard truth.
It's an arrogance that you're so comfortable watching on your screen. I think especially as a teammate, you just know you're like, yeah, go for it. Like, I know you're gonna come out of that situation 9 times out of 10. The one that's winning it, that every single time that pip. I just haven't seen that kind of, I think, arrogance, that cocky confidence that I love about Bound as a player come through the screen yet. What do you think that really comes down to though, Goofy? Is that just, you know, they're trying to find their flow, their dynamic as a team, you know, 4 very very hard-pressed players. They're so aggressive. Is it just finding his slot?
I think so. I mean, to everyone's point, Bound, what makes him so special is that style of gameplay. He genuinely thinks he is the best in the world, and he's shown it time and time again. I think for me, this Optic roster is still trying to put the pieces together and find that fluidity as a team. We talk about a team like Shopify Rebellion. Those four players just work, right? They're fluid, they're just moving as a unit. Optic on paper is a god squad. That's what everyone's calling them, but they're still trying to find that fluidity, and that's where Bound really shines.
Yeah, I'd say my one concern around Bound and like his mentality, he's always been able to consider himself an underdog. He's always been this unproven story. Now he has to play with kind of the weight of the world on his shoulder, the expectations of the green wall, the expectations of I just won 4 out of the last 5 majors in the past season. Now he's a favorite. Playing as a favorite's a lot more difficult, I feel, than playing as an underdog, and that arrogance is much easier to have when like you're trying to prove the world wrong rather than prove the world right about putting together the perfect god squad that they believe they have. I think he has it in him, but I do think it's a bit of a mind switch shift that he's going to have to go throughout this Optic Gaming's experience and achieving everything they want to.
And you just said it, experience, and that is the key, right? It's just having that experience as a team. That's exactly how you progress and get better, and also just get used to one another. Building that chemistry is so important. We're seeing a ton of that here in Arlington. We're going to head to a quick break right now, folks, but when we come back, we head into the champ bracket. We have our first winners round for you on the main stage. Cannot wait to see the business that's going to go down on this stage here, folks. Stay with us, and we'll see you right after the break.
Enemy team score.
Want more Halo action? Subscribe to the Halo Esports channel for official HCS highlights, behind-the-scenes content, and player spotlights that take you closer to the pros. Stay in the loop with official updates, Halo Esports history, and our HCS and Community Top 10 series. Don't miss a second. Subscribe now.
Party's over.
Mental became easily the best player in Gears of War esports history.
You know, once you have that level of success, that anything but first has got to drive you crazy.
And for a 4-year spree, Billy had the highest KD. He went into the most fights and he came out on top. You saw his character coming at you, you took a step back.
Everybody knows his exploits in Gears of War.
Mental definitely on one of the greatest runs. I mean, you could say in esports history.
Those boys were unstoppable.
This is unreal! You can't help think about the brand of Mental without winning.
My name is Billy Putnam. My gamer tag is Mental. I played Gears of War competitively. I have 22 championship wins in that game.
You should have never stood up! You should have never stood up! Keep sitting down, all right? You're not scared of us!
Gears is different when it comes to trash talking. For me personally, I kind of just stay there stone face, and I let my teammates do all the talking.
Get up! Don't ever get up! Ever! Ever! Ever get up! Ever!
Coming to the end of Gears of War 5, Mental was facing a tough decision where he wasn't feeling that passion for the esport anymore, and he had his eyes set on something else.
So yeah, it was a hard decision to quit Gears of War and go to a different game because I didn't have any offers at the time, so I actually had no job.
He wanted to switch to Call of Duty and see if he could become a CDL pro. He did, and actually transitioned into being a starting player on a CDL pro team. So then after CDL came to a close for him, he switched over to Halo.
I knew of Mental from Gears. Obviously, he was like the best of all time, you know? So I kind of knew about him going into Halo. At first, I was like, this guy needs to go back to Gears. Like, he doesn't have it figured out yet. But then he quickly started to just keep grinding and grinding and grinding, you know? He went from a whole bunch of different teammates, Gears teammates to some COD teammates. And then he eventually found Rynoob, and he went from like not the best placements to placing pro immediately with Rynoob.
There has never been a player who's given me a first impression like Billy Mental. This guy was incredible. When I first went into practice with him, I was like, you know, it's an option for us, but it's definitely not our leading option. You know, he hadn't placed pro that season, but we had a lot of time in our off season, and we played, and everything was decided after our first match. Can't really emphasize just how professional he was and how great of a teammate he would continue to be. I heard that first mention of, oh yeah, he's a 22, 23-time champion in Gears of War. I was like, what? No, I just heard he was a Gears of War player. That was definitely an interesting tidbit of information to come after I started teaming with him.
I think what stood out for me in Halo was really the movement you can have. Kind of remind me of Gears in a way, where movement mattered a lot.
And I think just that natural, like, superstar talent that he has can translate to any game, and I think Halo is just perfect because it does have that movement.
Oh my God! Get him, boy!
Love this angling here from Mental.
Captain Clutch himself, Mental, he's just popped a 3-piece.
Are you serious?
Third bullet through the dome.
Oh!
Mental with nades and his name.
Oh my God! What?
That could be huge, but someone's down Will. They're gonna clean up one.
Two! Mental nearly found the third.
And Mental and two of them. The duo getting the triple kill. Mental fighting to the face. They need people to fight for him like this. Rebounded! Clean sweep!
It is so unbelievably important to have not only experience, sometimes in a different esport, but to win. The experience of winning, of how to dominate, of how to be the best you can be at something. Having that experience under your belt is so incredibly, I personally think, necessary when you are trying to go into a new esport.
So as a player, for Mental to be a renowned superstar in another FPS title, to then have to start from the bottom and work your way back through, it's been a fascinating journey to watch. And it hasn't been a straight to the top kind of transition. It's been a grind. It's been through the onlines, it's been to LAN, it's been through open bracket to pool play, and now he's on a team with Shopify Rebellion who are making it through to a championship Sunday.
I think he's that player that your team looks to when you want a little bit of inspiration, when you see him ripping faces in the kill feed, all of a sudden you breathe this confidence, you've got this excitement, you start to believe that I can take down an Optic Gaming, a Space Station, a FaZe, and I can put myself into a grand finals Shopify Rebellion are going to see some success. It will be off the back of something that Mental does.
Free of Baseline in the most recent minute. So Rebellion are certainly clawing their way back into this one, and that's one way to get yourself going, to get the team going with a triple kill for Mental.
So Mental being considered one of the GOATs of Gears, which is already an insane feature, to then switch to Halo and be a professional and place, I think he's placed top 3 a few times now, like that's insane.
Making a switch to a different game, I feel like is never easy. So the fact that he's able to catch up with everyone's like really like shows how good he is as a player.
Very few people are able to transition from one esport to another and become successful. But to do it 3 times, that's crazy.
The trajectory that he's on, even though it's been slow, it's only ever been one way, which is up. You would imagine that at some point he will be on that main stage lifting the trophies.
Of course, I have my history in Gears of War, but for me, I want to be looked at as a Halo Pro and a champion in this game as well. I don't really care for second, third, or anything like that. I just want nothing but first. After that, I want domination.
If Mental wins a Halo Major, a title, a ring, I think there's a Hall of Fame for GOATs, and he would definitely be in there.
It's not an if, in my mind, it's a win.
There's been a lot of fans that have been there since day one, from Gears of War specifically, and it means the world to me, and I'm glad everyone's been watching, and I hope I can bring one home for the Gears fam, and you know, I think it's past overdue, so.
Want more Halo action? Subscribe to the Halo Esports channel for official HCS highlights, behind-the-scenes content, and player spotlights that take you closer to the pros. Stay in the loop with official updates, Halo Esports history, and our HCS and Community Top 10 series. Don't miss a second. Subscribe now.
What is up, Halo fans? It's Clutch here, and we have the HCS AMD Power Plays Top 10 clips from the 2024 World Championship. All right, let's kick it off at number 10, and what better way to start it than the 2024 World Champions on their way to that World Championship. It's Stellar with the shock rifle. It's against Optic Gaming in the Grand Finals, and Stellar gets a killing spree double kill to kick this top 10 off. At number 9, it's Snakebite from FaZe Clan, and Snakebite is on live fire against Cloud9. He's got the sidekick in his back pocket, and he knows how to use it. Rips 2 unsuspecting players for the killing spree off. The one-on-one for the triple is easy slight work for the sidekick and Snakebite. Coming in at number 8, it's Renegade from FaZe Clan, and we're going to be in this same series against Cloud9 here at the World Championship. Renegade on recharge with the shock. You know what's about to happen. The first shot, as clean as can be, the second shot through the shroud. It's a double. Spots the third player. Maybe doesn't hit the shock, but the 2 melees will get the job done for a triple kill. At number 7, Frosty from FaZe Clan, your third FaZe Clan member, and it's against SSG here in the winners bracket semifinals. Legend is trying to run this first fight to give his team a lead. Frosty says no with the plasma. A beautiful instant aid of the plasma will give Frosty the opportunity to find a double. Not only that, but the rest of FaZe Clan are here. They're going to get it, not only the return as Frosty hops onto it, but Snakebite gets a counter cap as well. At number 6, Dead Zone from the green wall. He's got snipe in hand on live fire right now against Shopify Rebellion. Shopify's up 1-0. Dead Zone needs to make a play to keep his team in this series. Dead Zone with a quick scope onto the player camo for a double, a killing spree. The body shot is perfect as he picks up a clean triple kill. Thinks he has another bullet in the snipe, but Dead Zone's gonna have to settle for the triple kill and camo control. All right, number 5, halfway there, Sab from Cloud9. It's Aqua Slayer, and he's got Overshield to work with the first player not looking at him. That's an easy single. Here comes Sab with full Overshield, making plays. The grenade does a ton of damage, cleans it up with the Bandit. The last player alive, ping 3, and Sab kills all of Native Gaming for the overkill. At number 4, Renegade is back for his second clip in the top 10. He's got Camo Snipe, live fire against Sentinels. The first player not looking at him because he has Camo Snipe. The second player gets the comms. Third player also gets the comms, but Renegade does not care. He finds 3 kills on Sen as all 4 go down. At number 3, Optic Gaming in the winners bracket semifinals, trying to find the spot in the winners finals. All you have to do is stop one push. The man for the job, you have the right guy with the right weapons. Formal with the shock rifle, the first player gets taken down. The second with the slide is perfect. The damage onto a third will allow Optic Gaming's reinforcements to get here. Able to capitalize on the rest of Formal's damage. All 4 down for Shopify, and that is Optic's ticket to the winners bracket finals at the 2024 World Championship. At number 2, SLG from Quadrant. And this kid with a shock rifle in his hands is a problem for anyone, even Optic Gaming. The first 2 kills are clean. Smells blood in the water, starts to push. The triple is easy, and the overkill. Norwin, you nasty boy, gets the overkill on Optic Gaming. And the number 1 clip from the World Championship is brought to you by Formal from Optic Gaming. Dead zone on the point of view right now, tracking down a player back tower. Able to play his life a little bit here. Back mud, gets info that a player's pushing him. He's going to get some damage onto him. That's actually important because Formal has just gotten a triple kill in the kill feed. Formal then quickscopes the player back green. Bound spawns dummies. Bounds immediately removed from the map. And Formal, for the nastiest kill tech of the year, creates our top 10.
Welcome back to the HCS 2025 Arlington Major, hosted by Optic Gaming in the beautiful Texas. Look at those views, folks. Absolutely stunning. But I just might say that it might be a little bit more stunning inside here, and that's because we have some world-class Halo 2 watch on the main stage, and it is an absolute vibe in here. I love it. The first major brings so much. It's tense. It's a little bit scary at times, exciting, so many upsets, so much going on, and especially with the absolute shuffle we've had of a roster mania in the off-season, it's made things nail-biting to say the very least. We have so many different teams contending for not just top spots, but even potentially taking events. We'll see exactly what they are capable of and what they can do, but they're certainly putting their foot down so far. Now, I did say we were going to get into winners round 1, but hear me out, Wes, Tony, okay? I just thought, why not have a little bit of extra Halo on the cards? We all love a bit of an extra game, right, on the main stage, so pool play is still happening. We haven't quite wrapped up all of the business, and we need to see one more series go down, and as you can see, it's in Pool D. Space Station, they need to play Ether here on the main stage just to seal things off heading into the champ bracket. Now, when it comes down to Ether, I actually have on good authority from a guy called Snakebite that I kind of know a little bit backstage. He said to me that Ether are no joke. He said, listen, they're a good team. We saw what they did to Luminosity. We are going to respect them, and we're going to play really, really hard. I think that says something.
That sounds like Snakebite. He's way too professional. Way too professional to slip up and underestimate his opponents. That's textbook professional Snakebite. You asked me the same question. I'm like, we get to watch SSG beat down Ether. That's what you're kind of hoping for. But we'll see what happens here. I know Ether has a couple of matches under their belt, now being 1-1. SSG not having played today, that could be an advantage that you can look to if you're looking for an Ether upset here.
100%. And I also think the match that they got under their belt being Luminosity, I mean, Luminosity come into this 5th seed. Obviously, it was not what they intended to happen here in Arlington. But I think it does say something about Ether to be able to have done that against Luminosity. You know, a team that has, you know, some experienced players on it. Tony, does it tell you more about Luminosity, do you think, in this situation, or more about Ether?
A little bit of both, to be honest with you. I mean, coming into this tournament, we had question marks around Luminosity, and we wanted to see more of them, and sadly, 0-3 is not what we were looking for, but I think Ether are fantastic. You know, tapping buttons has been that guy for so long, and I look at a player like Lord, even Acid, who have been on that secondary team team in Latin America for how long now, but now get an opportunity on that first place roster alongside Tapping, alongside Drift. This is a big opportunity for these boys.
It certainly is indeed. I mean, I think when it comes down to how well they're going to fare in this series, I really do think it's going to come to the series layout, so to speak. I think that's where you're going to see some of the old dogs trip up. And, you know, right now they're at a 50% map count on Arlington, so they're 4-4. I mean, okay, not too bad, not too shabby. SSG 5-2. They've slipped up a couple of times. The question is, where can you find them slip up? And now looking at the series layout, we do have Stronghold's live fire to begin with. I kind of like that for Space Station Gaming. I think they are well versed in the Strongholds, especially on live fire. The one that I'm really looking at is map 3, and I think that's when you can really start to get back into the game. That oddball on recharge, I think oddball is where SSG are kind of slipping up just a touch and could use a little bit more time and experience on that. How are you feeling about that series layout?
Yeah, I think oddball is a good place to look at as far as wanting to know more about SSG's improvements. I think oddball is something that when I watch them play against Optic or Shopify, they tend to struggle, and they tend to, like, the rounds get out of hand very quickly, and when you don't break a setup on your first or second push, all of a sudden it feels like the round is over. I think SSG has struggled with waiting so long to make a good push, and that good push not working, that it actually just loses them a significant amount of time and potentially the round. I think that this is a phenomenal way to improve in an atmosphere like a tournament against a team that has already proven that they can compete with the other teams in pool play, to have a better feeling about your oddball going forward into the tournament. But we need to see a strong performance here to believe that that's going to be the case later on.
It's a really good point. You know, the last time we actually did see them on oddball recharge, they actually did end up losing 0-2 to Shopify Rebellion. So like you said, a great test for them. Obviously, Ether Gaming aren't Shopify, but I think you can still kind of evaluate what they actually worked on, turning those weaknesses into strengths.
100%, yes, they are not Shopify, but they're still going to give you a good run for your money, to say the least. I mean, we've seen exactly what they can do against other teams. So I do agree, this is going to be a fantastic test of their kind of depth of map pool and mode. I'm looking to see some lights out gameplay from Space Station Gaming to see if they are ready to come to play for day number 2, because things are getting a little bit mixy here. I mean, Optic and Shopify, they're due to play against one another. Space Station Gaming, yes, if they do win this one, they have one more step until they start getting into those dangerous waters, but that territory comes with having to play up to a standard, and we need to see a precedent set here.
I mean, it's Saturday. Like, there's no more room for mistakes. If you have expectations of winning a championship, putting a banner up in the ceiling, there's no room for slips up. Friday you can slip up and you can make up for it on Saturday, but come Saturday, you want vibes to be high, you want confidence to be all time, and the only way to do that is win series and win these type of series convincingly. So I'm looking at SSG like this is the one that gets momentum going to when you get to bracket play, you already know you're on fire.
Yeah, indeed. I do think I'm looking to see something a little bit special here at the LATAM team. I think this is a massive opportunity for them. You're going up against a team of absolute vets. Like,
I'm going to officially hop off for a bit. I will probably be back. I'm just going to do some cleaning, take care of some stuff, and then I'll hop back on a little later. So, see you guys in a bit.